Let's turn to former CIA analyst Buck Sexton, also the co-host of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, and Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA. Charlie, I've been following what you've been writing about this today. At what point did these revelations actually make a difference that this was a massive Watergate-style cover-up from the beginning inside our agencies?
Well, that's exactly right. And it was public-private. And they pulled out all the stops. Remember, the laptop was an unexpected development. They thought they had 2020 scripted, from the lockdowns, mail-in ballots, relaxed signature verification thresholds, Zuckerberg money. They thought they had everything according to plan, and the glitch in the matrix, the input of the formula they didn't expect, was all of a sudden that Hunter Biden, let's just say, had a little bit of a memory loss, and he left his entire laptop at a laptop repair shop in Delaware. And instead of validating it, they knew they had to just get to Election Day. They had to do whatever it took. And therefore, they wrote this fake letter that was then used as a censorship excuse to extinguish people like myself. I lost access to my Twitter in the midst of the campaign in the middle of October because I started talking about the laptop. Weren't allowed to do that. So then they had a quote-unquote credible piece of journalism that was then used as a way to suppress, stifle, and censor anyone that would then put forward this piece of information. And poll after poll, Pete, this is the kicker. The most important part of this entire story, poll after poll shows that this information would have been decisive. Remember, Donald Trump fell behind in Arizona only by 9,000 votes. Georgia was like 8,000 to 15,000 votes. You know, Wisconsin was 20,000 to 30,000 to 40,000 votes. We're talking about on the margins of the margins. We're talking about less than 1% in the key battleground states. And this smoking gun 30 days out that could have swung swing voters was extinguished by our intel agencies, by Twitter, and by the people in charge. Will they ever be held accountable? That remains a mystery.
And they planned for it, and they knew it, to your point, and they knew it would swing the election. That's election interference, if I've ever seen it. Buck, help us, bring us on the inside. You worked for Mike Morrell in the CIA. I mean, you know these guys. And he said, I did it because I wanted Biden to win the election. Talk to me about this.
So people have thought of this as some kind of media malpractice, but really, if you understand this from the realm of intelligence tradecraft, this was along the lines of a Soviet KGB disinformation or active measures campaign. They knew this was a lie. They knew this was a lie all along. To the point Charlie just made, they understood that the election could well hinge on it. And so they effectively lit their credibility on fire. They specifically got all the highest ranking intel people possible. I mean, imagine for a second if you had gotten every four-star general for the last 20 years to sign on to something that was preposterous on its face. That would damage substantially people's faith, certainly in military leadership. And the intelligence community is absolutely marred by this. And I think it's important to look and see what happened in the aftermath of this as preparation for what they could do in 2024, because the individuals who were involved in this have all been lionized. They have gotten promotions. The Democrats, well, in the case of Tony Blinken, made him the Secretary of State.
Good work.
So obviously, this was nothing but upside for them. They managed to just swing the election at the last minute. But what it shows is that the people who complain the loudest about our democracy and the sanctity of our institutions are willing to absolutely undermine and weaponize any institution of government for their own purpose, which is the pursuit of power in the most relentless fashion. So everyone needs to see this as a cautionary tale. Whoever comes forward in 2024 and says, oh, well, I was a senior this or a senior that in the intelligence community or anywhere else for that matter, are they lying to you? Are they active measures? Got to be ready for it because they pulled it off the last time.
How can we believe them? You're both exactly right. Two great guests, Charlie Kirk, Buck Sexton. Thank you both.